Alright, welcome. It's Monday the 10th of June. We've got a good video today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be verticutting with the new Allett verticutting grooming tool, which has got double the amount of discs on, which are going to get an even better job of verticutting all that lateral growth that's built up over the last 6 weeks. And what the main focus today is we're going to try and combat the disease outbreak that is no doubt on its way, because it's very wet and very warm. Even though it's a bit chilly this morning, as the temperatures rise and we get that wetness, we're going to get disease. So what we're trying to do is fend that off with that reel by removing some of the thatch that has built up over the last 6 weeks, or the necrotic growth. It's just yellowing a little bit, but I'll show you that close up and you can see what I mean. Then we'll get to it. I need to get to it because I'm freezing. So let's just have a closer look at the lawn. So up close, looking really nice. So we can just see we're just getting a bit of necrotic growth. This is absolutely normal. This is just like the reproduction of the grass. It's dying off and it'll produce new blades. A few worm casts knocking about already, which is quite concerning. But yes, what we're going to do is we're going to slice through this just to open it up a little bit, get some wind channels going through, get all this lateral growth stood up right so it cuts better. And in the end, hopefully, we'll have a decent lawn. And then we're going to get some feeds on because it's due. Some of the yellowing will be because it's running out of nitrogen as well. So we're going to combat both things today. Feed it, which is going to help disease anyway, keep that at bay because we're going to keep that cell wall nice and strong and get them grooves through. Then the grass can breathe, not get sweaty, which is also a cause of disease. So we're going to do a 2-in-1 on the disease today. So here is the offending piece of equipment we're going to use today. Already set up with that verticutting tool in. So we'll just put that probably around about 10 mil. We don't want to go too deep today. We've had a lot of rain over the weekend, so we don't do too much damage. But we'll have a play. We can just do it on that 10. If it's not doing much, we can just drop it down. But what we can't do is put the grass back if we do any damage. So start high and then just work your way down. So we'll give that a go now. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so before I get on with the verticutter, just let me tell you what I got up to over the weekend. I decided that I'd had enough of the single stripes and I wanted to start with a new pattern. So I got the hater out on number 2 and I went over the original stripes back over in the opposite direction to nullify that stripe that I was on. And then I got the sterling out and I went over and started burning in my double stripe, which you can see now. So what we're going to do now is get on with this vertical attachment and remove this thatch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a double pass. I think we'll do a diagonal and finish with a straight. Alright, so that's one pass done. Now we've got a mixture of everything in there and that's what we want. We want to get out some of the dead, which is all this yellowing stuff, but equally then to get rid of some of the lateral growth of the grass, that's going to be actually alive. So if you've got some green in your basket as well, don't worry, we're getting both out when we do this kind of thing. So what we'll do is now is we'll do the second pass, but we'll go up and down, and then I might just to see how it performs against the scarifying attachment, get that out as well and do a little pass. Despite the absolute downpour we had last night, I can't believe how dry this side actually is. It's like it's never actually rained here, but it rained very heavy for about 5 hours, let me tell you. So I was not thinking I'd be able to do this video today, but we're doing it. So we can say we've got good drainage on this side. Alright, so I just thought I'd show you as well up close. So we can see now all the grass is nicely stood up. So we'll go over that with the cylinder now. It's going to be nice cutting because everything's stood up right and it can cut it. And you can just see we've got some nice grooves going through, nice and gentle. It's not like a scarifier, really brutal and really leave some grooves. This is just very, very subtle. And that's what we want with a verticut. It's not a scarify. We're literally just brushing that surface and that the blades aren't really touching. They're just grazing the surface of the lawn. They're not going into it. We don't want to upset the soil. We just want to brush against the top of it. Alright, so I've just done the second pass, bit of a camera malfunction. I'm not sure what happened. I don't think I pressed play. but we've done double stripe, so we're getting ready to now get into that zone of cutting this way. What I also did was I just dropped the height down a little bit more, just to bring up a little bit more stuff. So that's out. What we're going to do now is we're going to get on with the rotary first, because the grass is quite long actually, because I've stood it upright. So we'll go on 2, and then we'll go on with the cylinder mower, and then we can get our products on. So I just thought I'd show you up close before I get on with the rotary, just how much longer it looks now, because it's been flat a lot. When you mow it with the cylinder and it's flat, you're only cutting what's actually springing back up, but once we've verticut it, we start actually showing its true length. So it's a good idea now to go on the rotary, because that will chop it down, and then we can go on with the cylinder and regain control of it that way. We're not lost control of it, because it's still not overly long, it's just longer than we want if we want to start getting that finer sward. Like if you want to get it down to 15 mil, then we're going to have to start doing it, because if we just start cutting this, it's just going to flatten back down again, and we're only going to cut in what springs back, not because flat grass isn't going to get cut with the cylinder. So what we'll do now is say get the rotary, that's going to really chop this down, and then we can finish off with the cylinder and keep it at that height moving forward. So yeah, it's looking good, considering it's just had the brown stuff kicked out of it. Looks like it's never been touched. What we'll do is now get on with that cylinder, like I said, and we'll get back control, and we'll start putting it where we really want to be. So I think we'll drop it down to 20, see what we take off, and if we want to take any more off, because it's not taking anything off, we can just drop it down. And that's a good thing with the sterling, with that micro increment height adjustment, we can really control how high we cut that grass. Alright, that's at 20 mil. I took quite a lot of material off still. See, now we're nice and short. You know you're nice and short because the grass gets its strength back. If you imagine a brush, the shorter the bristles get, the stronger it is. The longer, the more give there is in it. And that's the same with the grass. Get it nice and short, but without scalping. We're going to have a nice strong blade of grass, and when we stand on it, I feel like I'm stood on earth, not on grass, so I can feel the soil beneath my feet, which is good. And then when I take my feet away, we can't see where we've stood, whereas if we go over here where the grass is long and we stand in it, we can see exactly where we've stood. And that's like the bristles again. Long grass will flatten, short grass won't. So that's a good little tip. So what we'll do is now, before the rain comes, nice timing, we shall get our products on. So first of all, we'll go on with our Equilibrium 1855 NPK fertiliser. 50% of that is coated, so we're going to get a nice slow release. We've got some calcium, magnesium and mycorrhizae in there. Now mycorrhizae is good because what it does is it creates root extension, so it starts making the roots longer and starts bridging plants together so they can start interchanging nutrients. That's a great thing about mycorrhizae. Works on a microscopic level. Now after that, we're just going to go on with our normal Dan's Magic, Grace, Stella, Orbit, H2Go today because it's not had anything for a month. So again, that will get washed in nicer later with the rain that's due. And then what I'll do is, before we go, I'll show you the other side and what we got up to over the weekend over there. And hopefully these two lawns now, with what we've done, will kick in together. And for the first time this year, they will be looking the same. So I'll show you that after. We've been experimenting with Dan's Summer Secret over there. We're just doing the final tweaks to the iron content because there's going to be some iron in that. So we're just working out at the dose that I've got at the minute, is there any issues on newer grass, so we can adjust that as necessary. So well, anyway, I'll show you in a sec. Alright, so we're just going on with our tank mix. We've got Dan's Magic, H2Go, Stella, Orbit and Grace. This lawn is going to look great in a couple of weeks. Alongside that, where I did the same on Saturday. So let's get it sprayed, and then this rain can water it in. Alright, so this is the other side. So let me just show you what I did on Saturday. So we cut it. We are turning now with the mower. We're not really going back and forth without turning. It's strong enough to withstand that. And then we went on with Equilibrium, and then in the tank we had Stella, Grace, Orbit, H2Go, and our Dan's Summer Secret. Got a little bit, just a bit too much blackening, and that's because of the iron content, so I'm going to reduce that in there. We don't have a problem with the blackening, it's not going to cause any problems. I just think it's too strong for what we're looking for going forward, and I want you to be able to use it on relatively new seedlings. So with this rate, it's just a little bit too much, so we'll just reduce that. We'll try it out somewhere else before we send it out, but in the next couple of weeks this product will be ready, and we can all have beautiful, extra beautiful lawns in the summer. So this one's really going to be that extra special product that we've been waiting for, that, like whatever the silver bullet is what we're going to call that one. Let's just have a look a bit closer up. Need this to fill in, but that will when the feed kicks in. When it rains, all the water just gathers at this bottom end, and there might actually be some kind of leather jacket under there because it does look like something's nibbling away at the grass, but we'll just keep our eye on that. And if it's still like that when the feed kicks in, we'll know there's probably a bit of an issue. But on the whole, I'm very happy. Allison's coming along nicely. I fed that just with the Equilibrium. That's all that these have had over there as well. So they're coming along nicely. I've not actually put any plant food on there. I don't want to do that, because when you start putting plant feed on in the watering can, you feed the lawn as well, and then you get an extra long grass just along the edge of the lawn where you've missed the plant and gone on the lawn, so I don't want that. So just let the Equilibrium feed those. That's all it's got in the 1855. Yeah, you could say it's not got a lot of potassium in there, but they're blooming, aren't they? So it's obviously doing something. So yeah, good stuff. After I went to Steve's, I made my way over to Former Britain's Best Lawn for its first cut of the week. Hadn't been cut since Friday, so it was quite a bit longer, as you can see, but that's all right. Cutting it with a cylinder, we soon got it back. Double cut, tartan, looks absolutely amazing. Have a closer look for you. 25mm. Lovely jubbly. Just before we go, I just thought I'd show you up at Howard's as well. Everything's kicked in nicely now. Been cutting with the cylinder 3 times a week since we fed it, and that's the best way to get it to thicken up. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. We're really on top of the annual meadow grass, digging it out this year. We've done a really good job of that. I've not seen any in this lawn. I've seen a bit in Britain's Best Lawn, but I just keep getting it out when I see it. You can just see the seed heads poking through, but here I'm pretty certain there's nothing at the minute, absolutely nothing. So that's good news going forward. So just look at that, absolutely fantastic. Just going to keep cutting, watering if it dries out. We've got the sprinkler system all, no, not the system set up, but we've got the pump so we can get water on really quick. Concentrate on the areas that we need to. Dries it very quick here because it's sand based. This is like Premier League root zone under here. So yeah, very nice. Let's go and show you around the front. Should we just have a look from all angles? Let's have a look from this way. Oh yes. Sterling's cutting lovely as well at the minute. That way. Let's go this way. Not seen it from over here yet myself. Just everything's behind. Normally, like, we've already had these results, but this year, just not yet. Absolutely beautiful. Around the front, trying to keep this a lot shorter this year, so we're actually at 20mm, like it Steve's on this one. Beautiful, thick, but we can still see the soil, which is great, which is what we want. Even in the shade over there, doing really well, and it's really solid underfoot. Like it Steve's again, it's like I'm walking on the ground, I can feel my feet touching the soil, which is always good. So yeah, happy days with this, just keep watering. And then I think it's 2 weeks from now we're ready to go on with our second dose of everything, liquid wise, and fertiliser a couple of weeks after that. So yeah, nice one. Alright, hopefully you've enjoyed this one. It's good to be back after 10 days off, just not being able to do anything with the weather. So like I said before, we're just going to let the rains come, wash all this in, and in a couple of weeks we'll do another video, a catch up, and we'll see how these lawns are looking. So until then, take care and we'll see you soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us next time when we will be doing something else lawn related here, right here on Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert. Bye for now.